What is the thing that you keep making or reaching for even when nothing comes from it? For instance, this video that I'm making right now is going to go on YouTube. And prior to filming, I planned the structure and how I want this video to look. I thought of a title. I'm going to be creating a thumbnail. I'm going to be editing the video, and then I'm going to upload it. And I don't know if anyone will ever see it. And to be honest, I don't know if this YouTube channel will ever go anywhere or if any of this will ever amount to anything, but there is a part of me that does want people to see it. There is a part of me that hopes that this will matter. And that part of me is alive and present every single time that I'm creating something. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the thing that I think most people are afraid to say out loud, and that is, I want to be seen. I feel like we do this thing where we try to be very zen and humble, and we start to say things like, oh, like, I love my craft. I don't care about the outcome. And although this may be true, I do feel like to a certain extent, it is a little dishonest, at least for me, because yes, I love my craft, but I am a human being. And I live in the age of social media and algorithms and being able to have access really fast to see people from all over the world and their craft and their art and what they're creating and what matters to them. And the bottom line is I want people to love what I love too. I'm not above that. I want people to see this. I want this to matter to someone other than me. There's a real possibility that that may never happen. And lately I've been really sitting with that. And it's a very heavy thing to sit with. I'm not gonna lie. Guys, there are so many people who died before their work ever got discovered. Let's take Vivian Maier. She was a nanny who spent decades walking the streets on her off time with her camera, taking photos of people in everyday moments. 150,000 photographs were discovered at an auction after her death that were never seen until then, and she is quite literally considered one of the best street photographers who ever lived. Henry Darger was a janitor, living alone in Chicago. When he died, his landlord found a 15,000-page illustrated novel and 350 drawings made with watercolors, crayons, and pencils of these worlds that he created. He's gone, but his art has been displayed in exhibits and galleries. Emily Dickinson only published 10 poems and 1 letter during her lifetime. When she died, her sister found 1,800 poems written by Emily, and they were published 4 years after her death. Now, Emily is a powerful figure in American culture and is taught in American literature and poetry classes. These people never had an audience. They never monetized. They never received an award. They never received a comment or a view count during their lifetime. And it poses the question, did they fail? I think most people would say no. And I think most people would say that these people's work was fascinating and extraordinary, and that it seemed to feed them spiritually when they were doing it, and that it still is feeding people spiritually the exact same way today. And for that reason, I think people would say that their life was full of something. And honestly, I agree. However, there is a small part of me that is terrified of ending up like them. I think about these people and people with similar stories very, very often. And I think about them so often because of what their lives ask me. That heaviness that I was talking about earlier from the possibility of never making it big, well, when I allow myself to really sit in it and feel it, the bottom line is I still want to create. I still want to post the video. I still want to make the thing because I can't imagine not doing it. I don't like who I am when I'm not creating. Vivian Maier walked those streets and took those pictures because something in her had to. Emily Dickinson wrote because something in her had to. Henry Darger made art and wrote because something in him had to. What is left when you strip away the desire of wanting to make it big from your craft? Well, it's usually just the craft itself. And I think that's what I'm reaching for, not necessarily letting go of wanting an outcome, but making the outcome irrelevant to whether I show up or not. I'm not going to tell you that your hard work is gonna pay off one day because I don't know that. But what I can say is that this thing that you keep creating and this thing that you keep reaching for, this thing that makes you feel alive, is not a weakness, and it's not stupid, and it's not a curse. It's probably the most alive thing about you. So what if you never make it big and you keep going anyway? Well, at least you were here. And I don't know, but that's pretty big to me.